I know you are looking at me and you like, ooh, what's going on with her hair? Hello, my beautiful YouTubers. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Now, some of you reached out to me from the video that I uploaded with my son. Well, actually the live stream that I did with my son. And we talked a little bit about Prince Charles and my opinions about why he should not be the next king. Now, look, I have talked about this before on my channel, and I'm just going to say it again. These are my opinions. I am not a British citizen. I don't know the monarchy. I don't know the work that Prince Charles does. I don't know all the good and wonderful things that he has done. I just know the things about Prince Charles vicariously through the life of Princess Diana. Because I was always following Diana. She was, when something came on with Diana, I was watching it. And whatever was said in the transmission of those stories about Diana and then about Prince Charles, that's what I heard and knew. So rather than sitting in ignorance of my thoughts on Prince Charles, I am going to purposely learn more about Prince Charles and some of the works that he has done, because I don't want to have an opinion about Prince Charles without digging a little bit deeper into who he is as the man that we see today. And then some of y'all reached out to me and y'all were like, hold up, nuh-uh. It was Princess Diana who started having an affair first. I'm like, what? Nuh-uh. No. It cannot be that my Princess Diana was out skanking around before Prince Charles. But that's what you guys have been telling me. So I'm going to look deeper. I'm going to find out like what people saying, like what they say. And I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to learn more about Prince Charles. Now, considering the things that I've said about Prince Charles that make my opinion that he should not be the next king, do understand this. I do agree that he was forced to marry Diana in a roundabout way, because they wouldn't allow him to marry Camilla. Now, what I've most recently heard was that Camilla actually wanted to stay married to her husband or be with the Parker Bowles guy, because, you know, that was who she ended up marrying when Charles went off. And she was like, well, shoot, you gone. I'm going to go marry the man that I really love. And that was her husband. But then he was messing around. And then Camilla was like, well, shoot, you know, you messing around when Prince Charles came back from being overseas or doing what he had to do in the military. She was like, okay, it's you and me, boo. And she ended up hooking up with Prince Charles. And then they became an item. And then Prince Charles had to somewhat marry Diana because he could not marry someone that was not a virgin. Her background just did not fit with what they wanted to be the wife of the future king. So Prince Charles was put in a predicament. And that predicament caused him to not really marry the woman he really loved, which was Camilla. And so, like I said, I do not want to sit here on my ignorance about Prince Charles. I'm going to learn more about it. But give me a break, y'all. I ain't from Britain. I see things from an American point of view. And this is why I think talking about this on my channel as an American is good, because we can learn about what is happening with the new American that is married into the royal family. Not only that, but she got a drop of black. And we gotta keep up on these kinds of things and learn about it, because there's a perspective that you would not ever normally hear or see if you are only seeing it from the perspective of those within Great Britain. Because the narrative is completely different here in America. And also, because she's a woman with color, that's going to also put an element of difference in there. And so I am wanting to convey these differences to better understand, so that we don't sit in our ignorance about things that we don't know much about. So I'm calling myself to step up and to learn more about Prince Charles and his role and all the good that he has done, rather than looking at him like he shouldn't be the next king. That's not fair to him, and it's not fair to me to not really learn more about it so I can have a better informed opinion about it. Now, just because you're informed about something doesn't mean that you're going to keep your same opinion. No, you could end up changing your opinion about something because you have more information. And I hear my Mr. Otis. Say hi. Okay, one of the things that I saw that was really shocking, Snoop Dogg. I know y'all know who Snoop Dogg is, right? Well, he made a comment about Harry and Meghan. And he said, good for them. He's invited them over to Thanksgiving dinner with him. You left the British monarchy. You left those royals back over in the UK. And I got to respect y'all because y'all are like rebels. Y'all like the royal rebels. And they're being applauded for what they have done by leaving the monarchy. And I'm like, oh no, not Snoop Dogg. Not Snoop Dogg. Because I like Snoop Dogg. I have bought his wines. I bought his cookbook. I like watching him when he's with Martha Stewart because he and Martha Stewart are the complete opposite. But they have the best relationship than who you are. But that's like the extreme. Like he is a gangster rapper. Less so now today, but Martha Stewart is the quintessential housewife, decorating, arts and crafts, and she is so different than Snoop Dogg. But they have got the most beautiful relationship, and I love that. I really do, and I think people in this world would be a lot better off if we had these kinds of relationships with people that just did not look like us, or they didn't live the way we live, as long as they're not going against the way they live in terms of your morals and, you know, your values of life. Striking up a friendship with somebody that is completely opposite than who you are can only make you a better person, because you are learning about something that you know not much about. It's just beautiful. Snoop Dogg needs to be informed, because right now I think he is sitting in ignorance about why Harry and Meghan left the royal family. He needs to understand how they have disrespected the people in their own lives to leave the royal family, which has been completely wrong, because they did not have to leave the royal family the way they did. They left the royal family on pretense that people were racist against them in the royal family, and that people were hounding Meghan, and that the royal family just did not help Meghan become part of the royal family. Like, there were so many lies told about what actually happened and why they actually decided to leave the royal family. That's just wrong, because, you know, in Snoop Dogg's songs and his rap, he ain't talking about, you know, giving props and inviting people over for Thanksgiving dinner that have disrespected you. He ain't rapping, or he hasn't had songs out about that. I mean, he's had a lot of songs about things that I just won't listen to, but I'm just saying in general, you know, Snoop Dogg is just not informed about who Harry and Meghan really are. So this is why he has said what he has said, because all he does is see is that they left the royals and they rebels. Okay, come on over. You know, shoot, y'all down because y'all like gangsters. Y'all gangster like. Y'all didn't let that royal family know who you are and what you about, what you gonna do and what you ain't gonna do. Come on over for dinner. Not only that, come over for Thanksgiving dinner, a special dinner. Like, they are getting the props that they should not be getting. This is misinformation. We don't like misinformation. We need to learn from being misinformed about something. And I could respect what Snoop Dogg was saying had he been like, well, we know that Meghan, she done dissed her dad, and she done treated her family that helped her get in her acting career like crap. But you know what? I still like her. She a rebel. Come over for Thanksgiving dinner. Now, if he said that and was informed about all the things that they have done, I'd be like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. I don't agree. And you know what, Snoop Dogg, I'm not feeling you no more, because you knew why they left the royal family, yet and still you invited them over for a special dinner. That's not the situation, because he don't know. He don't know why they left. He's misinformed about that. So I think that this video needs to get to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, he needs to subscribe to my channel so that he can hear the things that I am bringing to those that subscribe to my channel in teachable moments about the things, the behaviors that are wrong. Now, this brings me to my other point. My channel and the things that I talk about are not about hate. It's not about dogging somebody and calling them out by a name and being rude and disrespectful. But you know what it is? It's about calling out your behavior and the things that you do. And sometimes people just don't want to hear the truth. People checking you for your behavior. Sometimes people don't want to hear that. I'm not like that. People can check me all day long. I'm going to hear what you got to say. Now, if I don't agree with it, I don't agree because I'm informed, and I'm going to boldly disagree because I know what I'm talking about. But if there's something I'm not really informed about and you check me, I'm going to be like, okay. Never saw it like that before. I'm checked. Let me reevaluate what I thought. And that's how I'm going to keep it going. But see, it didn't always be like that for me. I didn't always have that mindset to reevaluate when someone was trying to check me. I had to have a smackdown to get like that. And I have had more than one smackdown because, you know, I'm a knucklehead like most people are. And they end up kind of getting checked, but then they just keep going back to their old ways and they got to get checked again and keep getting checked until finally it get through their hard knucklehead head. And then you start really changing the way you do things. And that usually happens the older you get. So now that I am older, I'm no longer that naive 20-some-year-old girl. I have learned a lot in my years by the gray hairs in my head. You see this? But you know, hey, it is what it is, right? I'm up in years. But with that has come a lot of growth. A lot of, I'm no longer in darkness of my ignorance. It's so good when you are able to be a young person and you can get it at a young age. So you don't have to go through a lot of heartache and disappointments and smackdowns like I did. And something should be said for that. Okay, Mr. Otis, are you sleeping? Go down there and go to sleep. How Prince William is stepping up amid challenging years for the royals. And thank goodness for Prince William. Because could you imagine if Harry was the firstborn? Could you imagine? But thank goodness that William was first. His level-headedness came first. All right, Prince William has taken on a crucial role following the death of his grandfather. While the whole family is in mourning, they also had to deal with the growing cries of some people to get rid of the monarchy. Back in 1995, during the interview with BBC Panorama, Princess Diana suggested that her firstborn son should take the throne over his father. Hence, that's why I've always said what I said. See? Okay, her head would have been chopped off saying what she said about Prince Charles, because what she said was turning heads in the royal family. Yeah, you know, the queen was like, what? What? Oh no, off with her head, off. And that's what would have happened. So for more than two decades, Prince William now takes on an important role in the monarchy. He now stands side by side with his father, Prince Charles, and his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth. Prince William is now looking like, I'm with you, Papa. It's me and you. So his brother Harry and wife Meghan Markle have decided to take a step back from their royal responsibilities and move to California. And this is important how this is worded. They have taken the step to get rid of their responsibilities because that was their responsibility. It was talked about in the royal engagement that they had a responsibility. It wasn't like they had talked to the people in that interview and said, well, as soon as we get married, we going to California. Because the queen gave Meghan the opportunity to go off and to do what you wanted to do and not be a part of the royal family. Did you guys know that? I know a lot of you did, but there are certain people that did not know that. Perhaps Snoop Dogg did not know that they could have left for Meghan to go do what she wanted to do. But see, here is the situation with that. She was not going to get that title. She was not going to get the title. Therefore, she did not want to take the option to leave the royal family in the very beginning to do her acting career. Like the Queen had given her that opportunity. So she was very conniving in her decision to say, no, Queen. No, Queen, I will stay here with you. I know I have a responsibility. Now give me that title. And that's what happened. The Queen gave her the title because the Queen was under the assumption that she wanted to give up her acting career and live as a royal with royal responsibilities. But she connived and made up lies so that she could get the title to be a duchess and then treat the royals as racist, all pre-planned, and then leave to go to California to start a new royal family in California. That's what she did. But I bet you Snoop Dogg don't know that. So you gotta know what is going on to get the truth before you spew your opinion about something that I'm actually learning in real time. Thank you very much. Prince William and Kate are now front and center. The public has welcomed Prince William's more active role in the monarchy thanks to the Queen's never complain, never explain strategy. But that doesn't mean that Prince William does not speak his mind. He still is outspoken when needed, just like his mother, Princess Diana. After studying the British monarchy for almost 5 decades, and he's learned to be very careful of the word survival. He noted that headline writers thrive on crises that threaten the very existence of the monarchy. Prince William is now paving the way forward. With everything that they had to go through, Prince William is remaining steadfast on the things that he knows he has to do to keep the monarchy intact. This is something that we all have to appreciate with Prince William because he has remained very professional amongst all the backstabbing that has come his way with his brother talking to Oprah, making it seem like somebody in the royal family is racist. And we as black people especially cannot support a woman who calls people racist to benefit herself. Essentially, Snoop Dogg, that is what she has done. She has called the royal family racist so that she had a legitimate reason for leaving the royal family, all the while knowing that she wanted to leave from the very beginning, but chose not to leave and to lie and to connive and say that she wanted to be a working royal with responsibilities so that she could get this title of the Duchess of Sussex. She wanted that title because that title was going to be a way she was going to keep the umbilical cord connected to the royal family and to get the stream of money and power that the royals have over in the UK, and so that it could funnel its way over into America so that she could now benefit from that title. That's what she did. So we cannot praise her for the way she did it. How she left the monarchy was in very poor taste. It was not in a way that was morally okay to do. It's not okay to call people racist when you know good and well they did everything that they could to help you along the way. So she lied and connived to get that title and called out people as racist to benefit herself. Because there are a lot of people that are thinking like Snoop. Oh no, Look how those royals treated them. Good for you, Harry and Meghan. Y'all rebels. I can respect that. But don't get it twisted. That's just being misinformed, because the real way they went about things was completely wrong. It was disingenuous. It lacked authentic reasoning for doing the things that they did. And it was backstabbing. I'm going to just turn things completely around and make people think that what happened was one way, knowing all the while that it was another way that it happened by your own doing. Like you spearheaded that lie. You told a lie, you ran with it, and everybody's out there believing the lie. In America, of course. But not all Americans. Just some Americans.